Welcome back, my survivors. Tonight's tale will make your skin crawl and your heart pound. So, dim the lights, settle into your favorite chair, and prepare yourself for the eerie story of the little girl living in the basement of the old mansion. The Anderson family had long dreamed of escaping the hustle and bustle of city life. When they stumbled upon an old mansion nestled in the heart of the countryside, it seemed like a dream come true. The house was grand, with ivy crawling up its stone walls and ancient trees surrounding it like silent sentinels. It was perfect for Mark and Emily, along with their two young daughters, Lily, aged 4, and Mia, who was just 2. As the moving truck pulled away, leaving the family to explore their new home, an unsettling silence settled over the property. The air was thick with the scent of old wood and something else, something musty and damp that seemed to seep up from the very foundation of the mansion. The first few days passed in a blur of unpacking and settling in. The girls loved their new rooms, and Mark and Emily enjoyed the sprawling space and tranquility. Yet, beneath the surface of their new beginning, something sinister lurked. It started with the basement. The door was heavy and made of dark oak, and it creaked ominously every time it was opened. Mark had to force it the first time he went down to check the fuse box. The basement was vast, stretching out beneath the entire house, with low ceilings and stone walls that seemed to absorb the light from his flashlight. There was an odd sensation down there, as if the walls were closing in, pressing against him, urging him to leave. He shrugged it off as a case of new house jitters and hurried back upstairs. That night, Emily was the first to notice something strange. She heard soft sobbing coming from the baby monitor in Mia's room. Rushing in, she found her daughter sound asleep, clutching her teddy bear. The crying stopped the moment Emily stepped inside. Puzzled, she brushed it off as a figment of her imagination, but the next night it happened again. Lily began having nightmares. She would wake up screaming, her little body trembling with fear. When Emily asked her what was wrong, she would only say, "The girl is crying, Mommy. She's sad and alone." Mark dismissed it as a phase, but Emily couldn't shake the feeling that something was deeply wrong. One evening, as she was tucking the girls into bed, she felt a cold breeze sweep through the room. The windows were shut tight, and there was no logical explanation for it. Goosebumps prickled her skin as she hurried out, closing the door behind her. The following night, Mark and Emily were startled awake by the sound of laughter, children's laughter, echoing through the house. They rushed to the girls' room, but both Lily and Mia were fast asleep. The laughter seemed to be coming from somewhere else, somewhere deeper within the house. It was Emily who first discovered the hidden door in the basement. She had gone down to store some old boxes when she noticed an odd crack in the wall. With some effort, she pried it open, revealing a narrow passageway. The air inside was cold and stale, and the darkness seemed to swallow the beam of her flashlight. At the end of the passage was a small, hidden room. Inside, she found an old, dusty dollhouse and a tiny bed. The bed was neatly made, and beside it was a small wooden chest. Emily opened it and found a collection of old, yellowed photographs. The pictures were of a young girl, perhaps 7 or 8, with long dark hair and sad eyes. She was always alone, her face solemn and haunting. Emily's heart raced as she realized this must have been the room of the ghostly girl her daughters had spoken of. She hurried upstairs, clutching the photographs, her mind racing with questions. That night, as the family sat together in the living room, the temperature suddenly dropped. The lights flickered, and the sound of footsteps echoed from the basement. Mark, armed with a flashlight, led the way, Emily close behind. They crept down the stairs, their breath visible in the frigid air. In the corner of the basement, they saw her. The ghostly figure of a young girl, her white dress torn and dirty, her eyes hollow and filled with sorrow. She stood there, staring at them, her mouth moving as if trying to speak, but no sound came out. Lily and Mia appeared at the top of the stairs, drawn by the commotion. The ghostly girl turned her gaze towards them, and for a moment, her expression softened. She pointed to the hidden room, her translucent finger trembling. Emily realized she was trying to show them something. Together, they went back to the secret room, the ghost following silently. In the corner of the room, they found a loose stone. Mark pried it open, revealing a small, dusty journal. As Emily read aloud from the journal, the tragic story of the ghostly girl unfolded. Her name was Eliza, and she had lived in the mansion over a century ago. Her parents had died in a fire, and she had been left all alone, trapped in the basement by a cruel caretaker who never returned. She had died there, scared and alone, and her spirit had lingered, unable to find peace. Tears streamed down Emily's face as she read the final entry, Eliza's plea for someone to find her, to remember her. The ghostly girl stood beside her, silent tears running down her cheeks. With newfound determination, the Anderson family decided to give Eliza the proper burial she deserved. They laid her to rest in the garden, beneath a beautiful old oak tree. As they said their goodbyes, the air seemed to lighten, the oppressive gloom lifting from the house. That night, as they tucked Lily and Mia into bed, there were no cries, no laughter, only a sense of peace. The Anderson family had given Eliza the closure she needed, and in doing so, had banished the lingering darkness from their home. So, dear listeners, remember this tale when you hear the creak of an old house or feel a chill run down your spine. Sometimes, the ghosts that haunt us are merely souls in need of help, longing for peace. Until next time, stay safe, and keep the lights on.